Jon Lovitz decimates cancel culture in this incredible article that we're going to be reading here. So SNL alum Jon Lovitz compares cancel culture to McCarthyism. And of course, this is something that has been an argument for a while now, but it's crazy to see some people like Jon Lovitz now coming out against cancel culture. This is something that I have been noticing recently that I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, where it seems like more and more people are starting to realize that cancel culture is not the way forward. In fact, it is more of a destructive thing than anything, and it is a very, very bad thing for the American culture and for what we have as our American ideologies. More people are waking up to that. So now Jon Lovitz is the next person who has seemed to have waken up to this as well. And it's just really, really crazy. So cancel culture is definitely not the ticket. Comedian Jon Lovitz is blasting modern online witch hunts, comparing them to the Red Scare that led to the famed Hollywood blacklist in the late 1940s. So this is what he had to say when he shared this article. He said, "I've seen innocent friends lose their careers. It's enough." It is indeed enough. It's done. It's time to say shut the F up to cancel culture, like what Kevin Hart has said recently. I'll just say it's no different than McCarthyism, the 63-year-old told Page Six on Monday. The SNL alum, best known for his "yeah, that's the ticket" catchphrase, said it's his job to satirize what's going on in society and point out the hypocrisies, and that cancel culture gets in the way of that. As soon as you say to a comedian like me, "You can't say that," the first thing in my head is, "Oh, and now I have to," he continued. Exactly. Comedy is supposed to make you uncomfortable. That is like the whole point of being a comedian, of saying comedic things and being in comedy. That is what started comedy. Comedy was a thing that was, in the beginning, used to point out issues and flaws in countries and with royalty and everything else in a way where you couldn't get in trouble for it. He continued, adding that there is a difference between making jokes and being outright mean. If you don't have the ability to laugh at yourself, don't go to a comedy club. I'm not changing my act. If you're watching TV and you don't like the show, change the channel. It's very simple. Lovitz also blasted a July 2020 Los Angeles Times article in which 4 women accused the Goldbergs actor Brian Callen of doing very bad things. He should not be canceled. It's horrible, Lovitz told us. I remember reading the article and thought it was ridiculous. One girl said she was 24 and he was 42. She was his girlfriend for 3 years, and she says, "I'm 32 now. He should have known better." Known what better? You're 24 to 27. You're not a kid. What did he do? He had a girlfriend who was younger. So I like women that are younger, not illegal. Most guys do. So basically he was just talking about some of that as well. As for Lovitz, he also recalled his struggling younger days. Before rising to fame on SNL in the late 80s, he was an actor with a Groundlings comedy troupe, surviving on $600 a month for 7 years. So basically he continued on and he kind of talked about some more of the cancel culture stuff. And like I said, in this tweet here, when he was sharing this article, he said, I've seen innocent friends lose their careers. It's enough. So, in this way, he's kind of talking about some of the Me Too movement and stuff. Unfortunately, the Me Too movement, and I've said this before, the Me Too movement was something that has done some good, but it's also done a lot of bad as well. Which is the case for most of these movements, right? Like, this is the case of many of these situations where some people use it in a way that helps kind of expose some of the evil out there, like in the case of like Weinstein and stuff. But then there's other situations like Vic Mignogna. He's someone who has suffered from cancel culture and from the Me Too movement, who absolutely did not deserve it. So this person responded to Jon Lovitz and said,
"I've seen your act. You're outright mean. You should be canceled just because you're not funny anymore. You're just a cad."
And so, anyway, and then Jon Lovitz responded and said, "You can say whatever you want. I'm still not going to sleep with you." So, but that's the thing, you know. Comedy is subjective, and I said this in a recent video as well. Comedy is subjective. You don't have to laugh at what comedians say. There's a lot of comedians that say things that I don't find funny, but I don't think they should be canceled for that. I don't go out of my way to try to silence them, to try to destroy their jobs, destroy their careers because they say things that I don't like, because they have jokes that I don't find funny. That's not what I do. I just don't watch their stuff. I don't listen to their stuff. I support other comedians instead. Comedians that I do find funny. Comedians that I do find things that I appreciate what they say and stuff. Those are the comedians that I go and support, not comedians that I don't like. You don't have to support them, but you also don't have to go out of your way to try to destroy them either. It's just ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And people don't seem to be able to understand the distinction between cancel culture and not supporting things that you don't like. People just have a really hard time, especially these woke leftist weirdos. They have a really hard time understanding that distinction. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. They're not very smart to begin with, so that probably doesn't help. But with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. I'd appreciate that a lot, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
With my heart still